Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, the live-action fantasy comedy film Harold and the Purple Crayon arrives in cinemas. The film's based on a 1955 children's book of the same name, and the film's actually serves as a sequel to the book. Not sure how that works, but hey-ho. And stars Zachary Levi as Harold, a man who lives in a book who has grown up with a magical purple crayon that makes anything he draws come to life when he draws himself out of the pages of the book and into the real world. The film also stars Lil Ray Howery, Zoe Deschanel, and Jemaine Clement as the bad guy who gets a piece of Harold's crayon and wants to, do bad guy stuff. The film so far has 37% positive reviews from critics, which is pretty bad, but, pretty standard for a family film like this. It's because critics don't really take too kindly to mass entertainment films. So the film is in cinemas now. Came out on Wednesday, but even the UK. So, last week, the British-backed neo-noir film Love Lies Bleeding was released on home video. The film stars Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien, and it's set in 1989 and follows the lesbian relationship between a reclusive gym manager who is part of a crime family, and an ambitious bodybuilder who gets wrapped up in organised crime. So this was quite big when it was released in February, March, and it is British backed, Film 4 provided funding for the film. So there's a British aspect to it as well. I watched the film last week because I was actually looking forward to it, because I'd heard great things. One of my friends recommended it to me. And I like the performances of Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien, but I just didn't really like the film. The script was massively incoherent and made very little sense, especially on the inclusion of two CGI heavy scenes in the third act. So I was just really disappointed that the film wasn't good, because I'd heard good things. I'd been told good things. It'd been recommended to me, and it was just it just ended up not being good. So I gave the film 2.5 stars out of 5. And I know that it was quite well regarded in the LGBTQ plus circles. So, but honestly, I just thought the film was an absolute mess. I just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't good. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week, where I'll be previewing the live-action video game adaptation Borderlands and the new M. Night Shyamalan film Trap. Trap's already out in America. It's just come out in America, but it's coming out next week in the UK, so I'll be previewing it next week. Now back to Gary in the studio.